earphones a little bit. Hey, freak, pay me a masterpiece. Yeah.
Hey everybody, it's Jess with the Bourbon Betters. I'm going to recap week 0. Well, just quite frankly, week 0 sucked. FSU does not have the best line in the country. Definitely don't. Georgia Tech is 5-0 in their last 5 ACC ranked opponent games. Georgia Tech is going to be middle of the pack of the ACC. I think people are talking about them like they're going to be a great team. I think they just played really well, and Florida State underperformed. I think Florida State's going to be a little bit better than what people are giving them credit for. SMU looked like they didn't even want to be in Nevada. They were very undisciplined, and if they want to be a contender in the ACC or middle of the pack team, they're going to have to tighten that up because an undisciplined team doesn't get you anywhere. Just so you know, all 4 underdogs hit. So if you played the underdogs in week 0, you did well. And 3 of the 4 games were under. So anyway, put that behind us. We'll move on to week 1. What I'm going to do is I'm going to talk about a couple of key games, and then I've got a list of some bets that I'm going to roll with. And then I'm going to highlight the Arkansas game, of course, because that's where I'm from. I'm also going to have every day, Thursday, Friday, and Saturday, I'm going to put out just some additional picks on shorts and maybe even on TikTok. So look for them there. So the first game I'm talking about is UNC at Minnesota. It's Thursday at 7 p.m. Central Standard Time. UNC, North Carolina, is a 1.5-point favorite. I believe it started out with Minnesota opening as a 3-point favorite. The over-under is 51.5. UNC won last year, 31-13 in the inaugural game of the series. UNC's also without Drake May, who threw for 400 yards in this game last year. UNC is going to have to win with their defense, and they need to execute under their new DC, who's Jeff Collins. And the offense should rely heavily on their running back returning, Omarion Hampton, I believe is his name. UNC and Minnesota, neither one of them have quarterbacks. So I think they're both going to be looking for quarterbacks coming into this game. I think Minnesota has a transfer from New Hampshire that they're going to probably start. I'm not sure who UNC is going to start, but I think the talent is just better on North Carolina's team. So I've got North Carolina winning the game. Close game, 28-24. Next game we're going to talk about is Friday night game. It's at 9 o'clock Central Standard Time, TCU at Stanford. Both teams are replacing a lot of key pieces. They are. You got to remember, though, TCU's 2 year removed from making that playoff run. And yeah, they probably shouldn't have been there. They still were 11 or a 12-win team that year. Coach Dykes is a good coach. I think that he will have them double-digit wins this year. So I think TCU is going to win 35-24 against Stanford. The line in that one is TCU -9, and the over-under is 60. Next, I'm going to cover Clemson, Georgia. Georgia's a 13.5-point favorite. The over-under is 48.5, and it's at 11 a.m. on Saturday. Georgia has the best roster in college football, but as we saw last Saturday, rosters don't always win you games. But I think Kirby Smart's kept them locked in. You know, they also were excluded from the playoff last year. They lost the last game of the season, or not even the last game of the season. They lost the SEC championship game to a really good Alabama team, and we're still held out. If they're in, do we have a different national champion? I don't know. Michigan's really good, but so is Georgia. So I think that Carson Beck's going to lead them to a comfortable win. I've got Clemson winning, or Georgia winning 38-21 over Clemson. Next is Miami and Florida. The thing with Miami is it's every year for Miami. They're like Texas, right? They're back. Well, they're not back until they're back. So I think Florida's going to surprise them. Napier's got a lot of talent around there, and I think he's going to come out and get them first game of the season. It's going to be close. I got Florida winning 31-30. Miami is a 2.5-point favorite, and the over-under is 54. Next, we're going to go to Penn State, West Virginia. Now, this game, Penn State has high expectations like they do every year. But I think West Virginia feels a little bit disrespected. Everybody's talking about Penn State's going to go in and beat them. They didn't have any teams or any players in the top 100 of the Big 12. It's kind of like they forgot about West Virginia. They've got some really good players. I believe that Penn State's going to win, but I think it's going to be by less than a touchdown. I've got the game Penn State 31, West Virginia 28, but Penn State is an 8.5-point favorite, and the over-under is 51.5. It's going to be close. I do have Penn State winning, but they're going to have a chip on their shoulder, and they're going to make Penn State earn every inch of it. Next, we're going to have to cover Notre Dame, Texas A&M. Texas A&M is a 3-point favorite. The over-under is 46.5, and this is probably the best quarterback matchup, one of the best quarterback matchups coming into the season. You've got Wegman at A&M and Riley, NC State transfer at Notre Dame. I think I like both coaches, Marcus Freeman, Mike Elko, both really good coaches. But I think Marcus Freeman, since he's been there a little longer, I think he's got his guys there. I think he's got his culture there. I think he's going to do a little bit better this year. And remember, it's at A&M. They're going to have to hold on to the ball. They're going to have to keep the crowd in check. But defense travels, and Notre Dame is going to hang their hat on defense. So I think they keep the 12th man out. I think Notre Dame wins 31-28. Next is LSU and USC in Vegas. This one's on Sunday. USC is a 4-point favorite. Over-under is 64.5. Both are replacement Heisman win quarterbacks. I just think the talent and the defense in the SEC, plus they've got this stud wide receiver, Kyron Lacy, that's going to be the new wide receiver. I mean, they've had Justin Jefferson, Jamar Chase, Malik Neighbors. He's the next one in that great line. So, like I said, USC is a 4-point favorite, but I think LSU wins this one 42-35. Pretty much going away. And then the final game I'm going to talk about in depth is going to be UAPB at Arkansas. It's at 6 o'clock on Thursday, or 6:30 on Thursday. Arkansas is a 49.5-point favorite, and the over/under is 57.5. The Hogs need to dominate. I mean, there shouldn't be any question on any facet of the game. You know, last year we played a team, a Division I AA team or FCS team, and we couldn't run the ball, and it led the whole season. Couldn't run the ball, so we have to dominate the line of scrimmage. We should run the ball early and run it often, and everybody should be excited about Taylor Green making his debut. I believe he's going to be a good quarterback, and he's going to remind everybody of Matt Jones, just his length, how he runs, he improvises. And also Luke Haas is returning from injury, so that's another good thing. Defense should dominate. I mean, there's no reason that UAPB should have anything positive on their offense, when they're on offense. I've got Arkansas winning 56-0 against UAPB. So hopefully we'll get that one right. Hey everybody, it's Jess with the Bourbon Betters. I want to thank you for watching. Go ahead and like, subscribe down at the bottom. Hit that bell for notifications if you want. Once again, leave us some comments about games you want us to talk about next week, or maybe even some bourbons you want us to drink. I will be dropping another bourbon video this week. Friday is my goal. And then hopefully I'll be doing this every week. And like I said, every day that there's a game, I'll try to get some picks out there. All right. Thanks for watching, guys. So I'm also just going to give you just a rundown of some picks that I think are some smart plays, especially this first weekend, if you can find the number. So I got Arkansas at -49. I think that's a safe number for them. Illinois at -28. That's a safe number for them. TCU at -9. I think they're really just a class above Stanford. Georgia, once again, at 13.5 over Clemson. I don't think it's going to be a tight game. Oklahoma State, I've got -9.5. They're playing San Diego State, and I know a lot of people look at that because San Diego, South Dakota State. I know a lot of people are looking at that one because South Dakota State is a powerhouse, but I think once Oklahoma State found itself last year, they were a lot better and committed to run the ball, and I think they're going to just roll over into this year. So I've got them minus 9.5. Up next, I've got UTSA, negative 24.5 point favorite over Kennesaw State. It's Kennesaw State, the first game in 1AA or 1A. So I think UTSA's shown that they're a very competitive team at this level. So I think they're going to win by 24.5. Air Force is playing Merrimack. They're a 28.5 point favorite. Air Force showed last year that they could put up a lot of points. I think that's going to continue. I think 28.5 is not a very big number for them to win by. I've got UNLV and Houston going over. Over on that is 54.5. West Virginia, I'm going to take +8 against Penn State. Like I said, it's going to be a close game. Virginia Tech is going to be a 13.5 point favorite over Vanderbilt. I'm going to take that. I've got Oregon, who is a 44.5 point favorite over Idaho. Definitely take that. Oregon puts up a bunch of points. They did last year. They do every year. And then Kentucky is a 27.5 point favorite over Southern Mississippi. And I think that they will win by 4 touchdowns. I've also got South Carolina, a 3 touchdown favorite over Old Dominion. I think that is going to be a safe bet. Anyway, everybody out there, good luck. This is Just for the Bourbon Betters. Y'all have a good one.
All I ever wanted was it all I ever wanted was it all I ever wanted was it all I ever